doing it that last night and had to look at some things, but we're not quite there yet. But they're going to do this. Now, that's where we're going right now. This is Haman. Okay. I was talking about the king. Okay. But we need to fill in with Haman here first and set him up. So Haman is very joyful because the king and he are the only ones that Esther are inviting. And when we get to verse 12 of chapter 5, where Haman is back talking with his folks, he says, Haman said, moreover, yea, Esther the queen did let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared but myself. And tomorrow am I invited unto her also with the king. Yet all this availeth me nothing so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate. I have a question and I don't have a good answer for it. Maybe you do. Who is Haman trying to get rid of? All the Jews. Why is he pleased with Esther? Does he not know at this point that Esther is a Jew? Other people do.
Well, she's untouchable at this point. So, I don't know.
Okay. Just something to think about. Verse 14 gets very interesting. Then said Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends unto him, that let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high. How high is 50 cubits in standard measure? 75 feet, depending on the cubit you're using, common or royal or whatever, but around 75 feet. Why would you want to make a gallows 75 feet high that you're going to hang somebody on? Show. And tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai be hanged. This is where it goes back to chapter 2 and that we'd looked at about impaling. And then go thou in merrily with the king unto the banquet, and the king pleased, and the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made. Questions, comments on chapter 5? I got 1 minute. We're not going to get finished with chapter 6, but we're going to get a good start and we'll be close to being caught up. So on that night, could not the king sleep? And he commanded to bring the book of records of the chronicle, and they were read before the king. What chronicle is this? It's going to get back to the one where Mordecai had saved his life and the king hadn't done anything about it. You see, we're not going to have time to go any farther. I just wanted to read that because what's going to happen as we look at this thing and go into it a little deeper is that Mordecai saved the king's life, and he is about to be paraded with royalty by Haman, the one that hates him. When Haman talks about what should be done, he's thinking he's telling the king that you need to be doing all of this, thinking that he's talking about what the king is going to do to him. And instead, he is the one that is going to be charged with the responsibility of clothing Mordecai in royal robes, putting a crown on his head, putting him on horseback, parading him through the city. All of that Haman thought would happen to him. How would you feel, and this is going to be our last question, somebody needs to ring the bell, but how would you feel if you were put in Haman's position of having to honor and show honor to the person that you dislike the most? you would feel embarrassed, degraded, but would you do it?
You have no choice.
He had no choice, because he still doesn't know what's coming to him down the road, does he? And that's the teaser for next week. Thank y'all so much for your attention and your comments.